ಏಳನೆಯ ತರಗತಿಯ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಏಳನೆಯ ತರಗತಿಯ ಲೆಸನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 5 ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಐಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಫಾರಿನರ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪಾಠಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಸಾಗೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಚಾನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ABG ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗೆ ನೀವಿನ್ನೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ, ಏಳನೇ ತರಗತಿಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಠದ ವಿವರಣೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಉತ್ತರಗಳ ಲಿಂಕನ್ನು ನಾನು ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಮೊದಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ. Take turns with your partner. Mark Tully thought he would be closely connected with others in many activities in India. True. Mark was not able to make friends in India. Not true. That, of course, is only part of truth. He says, what is part of truth? The part of truth is that the foreigner is staying in India because of his friends. The part of the truth is he is drawn to the India by its beauty. He watched the sunset in two places. What was the difference? He saw the sunset in a great Himalaya. He saw the sunsets in Great Himalayan National Park, where the mountains glittered in the sunset, whereas in Kerala over the Arabian Sea, sunset looked as the sun slid like a great red dome. The difference is one sunset was watched over the Himalayan mountains, others was watched over the Arabian Sea. He says he liked the early summer smells of India. What are they? Why do they evoke nostalgia in him? The early summer smells are dry scents in Delhi as the blue jacaranda and scarlet gulmohar and the other trees came into flowers. The sweet smell of the queen of the night and the freshness of the burst of fine trees in the foothills of Himalayas after a long, hot and dusty drive across the plains. There are folk songs and classical music with the ragas that start with such austerity and end in ecstatic evokes the nostalgia in him. They evoke nostalgia in him because he is reminded of such beautiful sights back in England. Why was the smell of pines particularly refreshing him? The foreigner was undertaking a very long and dusty drive across the plains and smell of pines refreshed him very much. The author tells us about his experiences in India, about the things he saw, smelled and heard. Do you remember anything like that? Try to imagine some memorable experience and tell it to your partner. The student has to answer her own experiences. Marx tells us about these things, that great works of our literature, our folk are ways of worship, our mountains and Indian food. Give example of these things in your own words. The two great epics Ramayana and Mahabharata and the poetry by great poets, art of the Pradhana tribe in central India attracted him so much, and it occupies completely one wall of his flat. ways of worship. He describes how Muslims stand in line after line, bowing their heads in prayer. Hindus prayer of performing the evening rites in the Hindu temple. The sound of wrist singing, the skyscrapers in the Golden Temple. It was looking at our monuments. It was amazed by seeing the great monuments like the Taj Mahal and ports of Rajasthan. Indian food, the fresh cooked parathas for breakfast in the open air, dhabas or restaurant along the Grand Trunk Road, and delicious vegetarian thali in Gujarat. About our movement, he says nobody will be disappointed by the Taj Mahal or forts of Rajasthan. About food, he says there are freshly cooked parathas for breakfast in the open air dhabas or restaurants along the Grand Trunk Road, and there is the delicacy of vegetarian thali in Gujarat. Mark says he is perhaps the only foreigner who believes India and Indians are very special. Not true. Why do you think we Indian accept Mark, a foreigner, as one us? The answer is we Indians accept every day, everybody, whoever comes to India. India is a country of unity in diversity. No other country has no religion, no religions, no languages, no cultures, no customs, etc. We have the quality of friendly nature which makes us welcome anybody who comes here. In the same way, Mark was also accepted as one of us. Answer these questions using by present participle. Say how it is used. What is peacock doing? Peacock is dancing. What was the bird doing? The bird was flying in the sky. What will you be doing this evening? I will be the going to cinema. What is mother cooking all morning? Mother is cooking breakfast. Respond to the given sentences. The peacock dances. Some peacocks are not dancing. Is that book good? Some books are not good for reading. There are no buses today. How did you come? I came riding a cycle. Why did you open the door? I heard someone calling. Writing. Working with your partner, supply the missing words in the passage below. A long time ago, an old man lived in London. His name was Benjamin Lewis Royce. One morning, he went to a book exhibition to see some books. He went on to a stall and looked at some titles. Then he went up to the guide in the stall, greeted him, and introduced himself after talking to man pleasantly about things in the general burst out. ಅಯ್ಯ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋನ್ವೇ ಮುದ್ದಾದ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಿವಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ತುಂಬ ದಿನಗಳಾದವು. ಅಯ್ಯ shall we talk in Kannada? It is many days since I heard the sweet Kannada language. Born in Bangalore in 1837, the scholarly type of Englishman had also held high administrative positions in the old Mysore state in Mysuru. He was Director of Public Instruction and the Secretary of Education and Mysore Ecological Department's first director. What is more, He was a scholar. He had mastered Kannada and translated into English almost 9,000 inscriptions from Karnataka. His most notable works are the use this phrase and make a sentence. So here, if you are a game for wonderful walks and treks, Mahabaleshwara is the place for you, located close to the bustling city Mumbai, not to mention spectacular view from fresh strawberry munching and monkey watching afternoons. Puzzle. Here is a question. The answer is given here. An hourglass is a glass container made narrow in the middle like a figure 8 so that the sand inside can run slowly from the top half of the bottom, taking just 1 hour. A sundial is an apparatus used especially in former times, which shows a time by the shadow of a rod on a scaled dial. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಚಾನಲ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ABG ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗೆ ನೀವೇನು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.